Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some more updates coming out from the Middle East, this conflict that is about to break out between Iran and Israel and Hezbollah, and multiple proxies around the Middle East as well. I've got a lot of things that I want to go over and talk with you guys about today. Some of the latest news that we have is what you see here on your screen. Israel coming under constant rocket fire and suicide drone attacks for hours now, okay? Maybe even almost upwards of 24 hours has been going on inside of Israel. They are under massive attack right now. Lots of successful attacks too. Lots of rockets and drones hitting critical targets. This video footage that you see here is near the town of Naharia, and there's a military outpost, and you can see right there in the background there's smoke behind those trees that was hit, and it was hit probably by multiple drones. And we've got lots of reports of people being injured in attacks all across Israel. We've got like 19 people that have been injured. We even had a case where a missile interceptor from the Iron Dome system from the Israelis apparently malfunctioned trying to take out a drone and flew and basically landed in the middle of a street. And I think we have maybe some people that may have been injured in that attack as well. So just lots and lots of crazy things happening in Israel. And Israel is getting more and more closer to being fed up. And I think they're going to respond at some point, potentially even striking Beirut again. So we're going to see what happens here. But I think right now Israel is just waiting for this major response coming from Iran. And we know Iran is still planning to carry out this attack and strike Israel. So that's probably why they're not completely responding to Hezbollah as of right now. There have been some airstrikes being carried out inside of southern Lebanon, which we will go over here in just a little bit. But just lots and lots of crazy news to go over. First, I've got an update here for you regarding Ismail Haniyeh, the top Hamas leader that was supposedly assassinated in Tehran, the capital of Iran, recently. So I want to go over that report, and then we have another report talking about some injuries happening across the country of Israel, and then we'll go over some X-posts with some videos and lots of other information coming out from there. So let me show you this first from the Times of Israel. IRGC agents recruited by Mossad put bomb under Haniyeh's bed hours before killing, says report. Okay, so this is very interesting, okay? IRGC agents that were recruited by Mossad. If you don't know what Mossad is, they're an Israeli intelligence agency, so basically saying recruited by Israel. IRGC agents, which are members of Iran's military, who decided to be recruited by Israel to put the bomb under Ismail Haniyeh's bed. This is him right here, the top Hamas leader that was assassinated. And it says here, the bomb that killed Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh at a Tehran guest house was planted hours before he was assassinated by two Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps agents recruited by the Mossad, and not weeks or months in advance, according to a report. See, that's actually what we heard originally, was that this bomb could have been sitting there for weeks or months prior to that. Now we're hearing it was planted hours before. The unsourced report says the two Iranians, members of the RGC's Ansar al-Mahdi protection unit, were in and out of Haniyeh's room in a matter of minutes and were let out of the compound without raising any suspicions. The Mossad then reportedly smuggled them out of the country an hour later. The report also says the bomb was planted under Haniyeh's bed and detonated remotely by a robot. So according to this report, we're hearing once again that this was a bomb planted under his bed. These agents, these RGC agents, were recruited by the Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency, and they were recruited to put this bomb under his bed, detonate it, and then get out of the country, and they smuggled them out, apparently, is what this information is saying. So again, we don't know exactly what happened here. We heard originally that this was an Israeli airstrike, that some sort of missile struck the building, and then we did hear from some sort of other Hamas spokesperson stating that the roof had collapsed and the side, one of the walls had collapsed or something, that it looked like it was an airstrike. But then we started hearing a lot about bombs being planted in the room. So again, we don't know exactly what happened here, but according to this report, it's stating that this was definitely a bomb that took out Ismail Haniyeh. So you let me know what you think down below happened to him. But Iran is still pushing with this idea that this was definitely an airstrike that happened inside their country. So again, we don't know for sure what happened here. We probably never will know. But let me show you some other stuff happening in Israel now. The Times of Israel again. 19 injured, 1 critically, as Hezbollah drones strike near northern city of Naharia. IDF says impact along highway. Sorry about the pop-up. caused by failed Iron Dome interceptor. Terror group claims assault targeted military base. Hezbollah says reprisal for top commander is yet to come. Okay, so Hezbollah is still planning to respond as well due to a strike in Beirut that took out a top Hamas or Hezbollah commander. That was this was in response to an attack that happened in the northern Golan Heights region, occupied Golan Heights region in Israel. There was a soccer field that came under attack supposedly by a Hezbollah rocket, a Falak 1 rocket, a very heavy rocket. I think it was like a 50-kilogram warhead, striking a soccer field, and we had 12 children, unfortunately, that were killed in that attack. So that's why Israel struck Beirut, and now we're expecting a response from Hezbollah in regards to that as well. Okay, so here's a picture of a drone. I actually have the video footage showing this drone flying into Israel. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. So it says 19 people were injured Tuesday, one of them critically after a Hezbollah drone attack on the western Galilee. At least one of those injured was wounded as a result of an Iron Dome interceptor missile that malfunctioned, the Israel Defense Forces said later. The Magen David Adom Ambulance Service said it treated victims at 3 locations in the Nahariya area. One person was critically wounded, another person was listed in light to moderate condition, and others were lightly hurt, MDA said. The critically wounded man in his 40s was hit while driving and crashed into the side of the road. Hundreds of meters away in a parking lot, a woman aged 65 was moderately wounded by shrapnel. 6 soldiers were also wounded at an army base in the area. In all, 19 people were taken to the Galilee Medical Center in Nahariya for treatment, including the critically wounded man, the woman in moderate condition, and 17 others in good condition. The hospital said some of the lightly wounded victims were suffering headaches and tinnitus, and others from acute anxiety. On Tuesday evening, all had been released from the medical center. So it looks like for the most part, we had lightly wounded victims, but some more critically wounded than others. But regardless, again, what we're seeing is lots and lots of Israelis coming under attack, and this is only going to push for Israel to launch a larger response against Hezbollah, and Hezbollah is still continuing their attacks. I reported like maybe a week and a half ago that Hezbollah was going to basically move beyond the Litani River. Now we're not seeing that. They're not even talking about that anymore, meaning they would push back away from the border and stop attacking Israel. So this war is nowhere close to being over, and it's just getting closer and closer every day to a major war breaking out here in the Middle East. So I don't know what's going to happen. What is everybody waiting for? I just don't understand anything. I don't understand what the Israelis are waiting for aside from this attack coming from Iran, and that's the only thing I could really think of that would make them be a little bit more complacent right now. Not that they haven't been launching airstrikes inside of Lebanon, which they have. We'll have some reports, I believe, that will go over that. But I'll cite this down below. You guys can read some more of that if you want to. There's a little bit more information regarding that, but there's way too much information for me to sit here and read the whole thing. I want to go over some stuff on X now with you. So let's go ahead and get this pulled up and check out some things here on X. So this is from Iran Observer. Breaking: Iran has issued a warning to clear parts of its airspace for military exercises planned for August 7th and 8th with the possibility of testing long-range air-to-air missiles. Okay, so today is August 6th, So tomorrow, August 7th and 8th, Iran is planning to clear parts of their airspace to test long-range missiles. Okay, so this means that most likely we're not seeing an attack anytime soon, but you know what? This does line up with a report that we saw a few days ago that on August 12th is a major Israeli holiday. So is this the day that they're planning to do this? I mean, look, August 7th and 8th, a few days before, testing long-range air-to-air missiles. Okay, so we have no idea again when this attack is taking place, but it looks like it's coming sometime soon here with the next week or two. But again, we don't really know. But this is something that's being planned tomorrow, clearing parts of their airspace, and testing long-range air-to-air missiles. So check this out too from Times of Israel Alerts. Live update: Nasrallah vows strong response coming to killing of Hezbollah's military chief. So I know today, I believe, Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, made a speech. We'll go over that here in just a little bit, with Israeli warplanes flying over Beirut during that speech, or when it's about to begin. And so Nasrallah apparently vowing a strong response still coming. Okay, so we're still expecting Hezbollah to launch a major attack on Israel, and I think it will be at the same time as Iran does. So take a look at this now. This is in regards to that speech that Hassan Nasrallah made with these Israeli warplanes that I was just talking about. So from Mario Nafal, video from insane boom caused by IDF jets over Lebanon. Times of Israel has released footage of the Israeli jets that broke the sound barrier and caused all of Beirut to scream. WTF was that? You guys probably know what WTF means. But take a look at this video. It's 34 seconds, and it shows Israeli warplanes breaking the sound barrier, basically, and causing a sonic boom over the city. And it was apparently right before Hassan Nasrallah was just starting to speak, and it was happening for, like, I don't know, maybe a few hours while this was taking place. So just take a look real quick.
Wow. همین الان.
Okay, so what I heard initially with this situation was that Israeli warplanes were flying very low over Beirut, and basically to send a signal to Hassan Nasrallah that, you know, they could easily just bomb Beirut again if they wanted to. It's that easy for them to fly over their city. And it was obviously a big message to Hassan Nasrallah. And we had like windows being blown out, lots of things like that, and lots of people screaming and people being worried that there was another airstrike coming or what was going to happen here. But this was something big that happened in Beirut today that I wanted to share with you guys. So that was right around the time that Hassan Nasrallah was going to make his speech today. So moving on, from current report just in, Iran is pressuring Russia to deliver Sukhoi Su-35 4.5 generation fighter jets. This is from Reuters, okay? So apparently Iran now wants these Sukhoi Su-35 fighter jets, okay? They want to upgrade much of their arsenal. We already know that Russia's already been sending them Iskander missiles and electronic warfare weapons to be able to knock out intelligence equipment on Israeli warplanes if they try to come into their country. So they're expecting a major response from Israel after. Israel's already come out and said that they would strike their nuclear facilities and destroy them. So obviously Iran, it just is ready to go to war is what it seems like to me. I mean, they're pushing for lots of support from Russia, and Russia's giving that to them, okay? They're giving them lots and lots of support right now. There's been nonstop cargo planes coming from Russia. Just yesterday, we did a whole report on that. Bringing in lots of equipment to their country, even S-300 air defense systems. Okay, so Iran is ready to go to war with Israel is what it seems like, and I think that's the main reason why we're seeing a major pause prior to this attack coming from Iran, is they're getting ready for a major war to break out, that if they know that if they take this next step and attack Israel, it's war after that, okay? It's not just going to be, just a response, and then that'll be it, kind of like what we saw back in April. So moving on, let me show you this from OZT Defender. The Israel Defense Force has announced that an explosion earlier this morning on Highway 4 in northwestern Israel near the city of Nahariya, which caused severe injuries to an adult male and was previously believed to have been caused by a Hezbollah Shahed 101 attack drone, was instead caused by a Tamir missile interceptor launched from a nearby Iron Dome surface-to-air battery that malfunctioned. Okay, so this video footage is going to show us a explosion here in the middle of the road. You'll see it right in this area, and this was supposedly from an Iron Dome surface-to-air battery that malfunctioned and landed in the middle of the road. It was supposed to take down like a drone or a rocket coming from Hezbollah. So just take a look real quick. Okay, so as we can see right there, I was circling it for you. This is where that thing landed at. I mean, right in the middle of the road where people are driving. So even their own air defense system, obviously it's not going to be 100%. There's going to be malfunctions sometimes, right? but even their own air defense system is a danger to the civilians just trying to shoot down these rockets. So it's just, or drones, doesn't matter what it is, just absolutely insane what's happening over here. So this was some sort of security camera footage that caught that, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So take a look at this as well from Bricks News. Just in, Pakistan plans to supply Iran with ballistic missiles for its attack against Israel. So even Pakistan being willing to step in, send over ballistic missiles to Iran to attack Israel with this, okay? So there's definitely there's a line being drawn in the sand, and people are picking a side, okay? Do you want to be with Israel and the United States, or do you want to be with Iran and Russia, okay? And Pakistan has joined the side of Iran and Russia, willing to send ballistic missiles over to Iran that they can use to attack Israel with. So this is insane, because just not that long ago, a few months ago, there was an attack that came, I believe, from Iran into Pakistan, and it almost, we were about to have a sort of skirmish happening between these two countries. I remember reporting on that. Now Pakistan's like, you know what, we're going to supply some ballistic missiles to Iran. So that's some huge news right there. Pakistan getting involved now. So here's from the official X account of Israel. Nonstop barrage of Hezbollah rockets in northern Israel. Make no mistake, those who harm the people of Israel will pay the price, okay? This was reported this morning, 8:30 a.m. On August 6th, okay? So just today. And again, like I said in the very beginning of the video, they've been under constant rocket and drone attack for quite a while now. Maybe even the last 24 hours has been taking place over in Israel, okay? So check this out from Vicegrad24. Hezbollah drones flying over northern Israel today. We've got a 24-second clip showing some of these drones flying into Israel. So take a look. This comes from Hezbollah, by the way.
אתה רואה אותו? הנה עוד אחד.
So it's just crazy to see this. You know, this is basically Iran attacking Israel through a proxy is what they're doing whenever these drones are flying in. So when you see all this equipment flying in here, this is why Israel wants to go after Iran directly. They are the head of the snake, and they are the ones that are allowing all this to happen because they've been giving all their equipment to all these proxy groups in the Middle East, and Hezbollah happens to be one of the largest proxies. So this is obviously a major threat to Israel, considering they're right on their border. So this is something that's happening for a very long time now. Basically, since October 7th, we've seen these attacks happening inside of Israel coming from Hezbollah. These are attack drones flying in. They're probably the ones that are heading to that military base in Naharia. Okay, so we'll talk about that some more here in just a minute. But take a look at this from the Times of Israel. Putin said to ask Iran to avoid civilian casualties in expected strike on Israel. Okay, so something big that we know that Iran wants to do is they want to strike civilian targets. Same with Hezbollah, okay? Especially Hezbollah. They want to strike civilian targets. They want to inflict mass casualty damage is what it seems like. They want to send a major message this time, potentially even wiping out a large percentage of the population. Who knows? But apparently Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, is trying to ask Iran to avoid doing this, that don't go after civilian targets, just target military installations only. But I don't think that's going to be the case. We know for sure that Iran is looking for blood this time. They don't want to just go after military targets. They want to actually target civilians as well. So we'll have to see what happens, though. That was some big developments right there. For the Times of Israel alerts, live update, Hezbollah confirms 4 operatives killed by Israeli airstrike in southern Lebanon. So here's some information coming out that the Israeli warplanes have been launching airstrikes inside of southern Lebanon. Hezbollah confirming 4 operatives have been killed in airstrikes, okay? Now, check this out. I thought this was very interesting, and I've been wanting to see something like this for a long time just to get some statistics here on how many attacks are taking place. But this is from the official X account of Israel. Since October 7th, Hezbollah has fired thousands of rockets on Israeli communities in northern Israel. And they put out a picture here that shows all the attacks that have been taking place as Hezbollah rocket attacks on Israel from looks like October 8th, 2023 to July 28th, 2024. Okay, so this is like a, what is that, 9-month period. Okay, 6,900 plus rockets fired, displaced people 62,741 fires, 138K acres burned. Okay, 42 people killed and 250 injured. I mean, look at the amount of damage being done to Israel just from Hezbollah alone, and this is why Israel wants to go after Hezbollah and destroy them, okay? Because look at this. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, just this alone, 6,900, almost 7,000 rockets fired. And what I've been telling a lot of you is almost every week, there's hundreds and hundreds of rockets fired every single week. And I report this very frequently on my channel to show you guys all these rocket attacks that are happening, just the rockets alone. And a lot of these fires and the acreage being burned is a result of these rocket attacks, okay? So, and that also causes the displaced people, the 62,000 displaced from the north, because everything's been burned, and it's also too dangerous to even be there because there's so many rockets flying and landing near people's homes all the time. So that's why I talked about this the other day. I mentioned that Hezbollah is already targeting civilian infrastructure, okay, just by doing this. These rockets landing, starting fires. It's not just military installations coming under attack. It is also civilians. So I wanted to share that with you. Thought that was pretty insane. So a couple more things left to show you here from Israel Foreign Ministry. Earlier today, rocket sirens sound across northern Israel as Hezbollah terrorists attack Israeli communities with explosive drones. According to initial reports, 2 people were injured, one of them in serious condition. We will not let the people of Israel be terrorized, okay? So this is directly from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Israel sharing some of these videos. So we got 2 videos here to take a look. So let's look at these. So we can see in this video sirens blaring, and also we've got smoke here in the background. Something got hit over here. I don't know exactly where this was at, but some sort of community inside of Israel. So that's pretty crazy. One last video here to take a look at. So what this video looks like to me is that explosion. Somebody here that was driving at the intersection was able to catch this on camera of this missile interceptor, is what I'm thinking. This could be a drone, but it looks to me like it could be that same footage that I showed you guys earlier of that Iron Dome missile interceptor that malfunctioned and landed in the middle of the road. So somebody was able to capture this right here on the ground, okay? So that's pretty crazy too. All right, so let's go over a couple more things here. We got a few more videos from Nexta. Hezbollah attacked Israeli settlements along the border with Lebanon with drones. Okay, so we've got a picture, and then we got a few videos to show you as well of more drones flying into Israel. So there's a picture there. Let's take a look at this video next.
Wow.
So there's a drone right there flying into northern Israel. Once again, more drones flying in there. And let's take a look at this one too. Okay, so this video looks like a result of some sort of explosion, probably a drone or a rocket that landed on the side of the road, started a fire there. And so again, what was the target of this? So clearly, what we see many times coming from Hezbollah is they kind of just fire these into the country, and it doesn't seem like there's always a destination. Maybe the drones have destinations, but these rockets, many times, they don't have a destination. They just kind of land wherever on the sides of roads, sparking fires like we see here. Hitting people's houses and buildings and all kinds of different things. So absolutely insane what they're having to deal with almost every single day. So I think one more video here. Let's take a look at this as well. Okay, so a lot of these are very short videos, but looks like we have another attack here somewhere beyond these trees where there's a fire that broke out again. Okay, so again, Hezbollah is launching so many of these rockets and drones into Israel with unknown destinations, and they're just striking all over the place and starting fires. So, just imagine how would your country respond to this if this was happening to your country, especially if this was the United States. If this was the United States, this would not be going on for as long as it has been. Israel has been very complacent for the most part to allow these attacks to continue happening. I mean, I know that Israel does respond and strike back inside of southern Lebanon, and they have been doing this. They've been struck Beirut recently. But the amount of attacks that are happening inside of Israel is just absolutely insane. Okay, we're talking of thousands of rockets, missiles, drones going into Israel over the last 6 months or so. So just absolutely insane, guys. Let me show you one more thing here. So this is that video footage coming from Nahariya, and this is from the Middle East Observer. Earlier today, Hezbollah attacked a military base in Nahariya, smoke rising from inside a military base in Nahariya after a number of drones exploded. So we've got two, well, actually this video we've just watched right now, but this one, we'll go ahead and take a look at this. And this is actually the video that I had for you guys at the beginning when you came in on the waiting screen. So let's take a look at this real quick. All right, so this is basically it. That's basically what's been happening here over the last 24 hours inside of Israel. While they wait for this major attack to come from Iran, what we've been mostly seeing is Hezbollah just launching lots of rocket and drone attacks. And it looks like many of these drones, if you notice, the drone attacks seem to be more successful than rocket attacks. A lot of times whenever it's rockets and we show you guys the video footage, majority of them are shot down. Now, I don't know if these drones are majority of the time shot down and maybe some of them make it through. But you know what? We see the same exact thing happening with Ukraine and Russia, okay? Whenever Ukraine is targeting oil depots, generally it's drones that cause these fires, not so much missiles or anything like that. And I know that Ukraine doesn't really exactly have a lot of missiles. They have more drones to their disposal than they do missiles. But obviously, drones seem to be very effective at breaking through air defense systems, even the Iron Dome. Okay, is what I see. Mainly when we see attacks carried out inside of Israel that are actually successful coming from Hezbollah. Majority of the time, it's been a drone from what I have seen. So I just want to share the latest updates here with you guys, just kind of let you know what's going on over here. But for the most part, what we've been seeing right now in the last 24 hours is just mainly drone and rocket attacks coming from Hezbollah. And like I mentioned earlier, there was those sonic booms that were being created by those Israeli warplanes inside of Beirut. So is there going to be some sort of major attack coming on Lebanon here very soon? Very possible. This is going to be a result to all these attacks that are taking place right now. I know that Israel has been striking inside of Lebanon, but they may hit them even harder, maybe go after Beirut again very soon. But I'll stay very close on this topic. And if any other updates come out, I'll put out another video for you guys. But that's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.